one and only Nate Diaz. How's it feel to be in Vegas? How's it feel to be 1 week away from the fight?
It feels like it has many of times.
Yeah. It still feels like when you were 16 and you were doing this with your brother and he was sending you in the Nick Diaz army, like now you're mega fight, pay-per-view, celebrities coming to Las Vegas, but it still feels the same?
Feels like a fight week of hell, just like always.
Yeah. So why are you still doing it?
It's what I do. It's what's been happening. Mm-hmm. It don't feel right if it's not happening.
Yeah. What about just being in Vegas again? I couldn't believe it had been 6 years? 6 years since you've been here. Last time I was here was you and Connor and the water bottle incident.
That was my last fight here in Vegas.
That was your last fight in Vegas.
Somebody, Eli just told me that. I didn't even think about it. I've been here for a bunch of other people's fights on my team and just for watching, so I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Because we fought in L.A., Arizona,
and Madison Square Garden.
New York. Yeah, Madison Square Garden, baby. What you talking about? Madison Square Garden.
Obviously, a lot of talk about how this is
creme de la creme. They say creme de la creme.
Is it? I mean, I would look at something like this. You probably don't, but poetic that like you won the Ultimate Fighter down to the Palms. You've had some of the biggest moments of your career in Las Vegas, and now final fight on the UFC contract at T-Mobile. Does it feel right?
Yeah. Remember when I Donald Cerrone here on New Year's, and who fought on the main event with Brock Lesnar and
that was a Brock Lesnar fight?
It was Brock Lesnar and Overeem, I think.
Is
that who it was?
I thought it was Gray Maynard, Frankie Edgar. Am I wrong?
No, that was I fought on that card too another time. Okay. But Cerrone fight was on that Brock Lesnar card.
Weren't you at the press conference where Chuck Liddell announced?
Remember I pushed Cerrone and smacked his hat, and then Brock Lesnar and then we're sitting there acting all cool.
You do you think about some of the moments of your UFC career now that it is like at a crossroads? You don't know what's going to happen with the UFC.
Well, I just did when you mentioned it.
But normally you're not.
Well, my whole life's in this, and I've been in it the whole time, so it doesn't never go away. It's just what it is, kind of. Yeah, I guess it's on. If everything feels like the other day.
So it all feels the same throughout your career. It feels like you've been doing the same thing, really. Even though you've had ups and downs, and you've had high moments, you've had contracts, things, you've had things going on with the UFC. It just feels like it's kind of been steady the whole time.
Yeah, well, with the high moments, you could expect the low moments coming. With the low moments, you could expect the high moments coming. So they don't ever stop regardless. So it all feels like since I was 17, 18, everything feels like it was in the same month, but it's over a longer period of time than that. You've
had it for a long time, your vlog, and it's called Road to War. Mm-hmm. Why did you call it Road to War?
Because didn't they used to do Road to the Octagon or something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Octagon, this is warfare. I've been in it the whole time, and every time it's like, it's a whole war, the whole life, just dealing with the whole situation. And when I'm not in war, somebody else is, and the war don't ever stop. So it's just like, if I'm going to be making up some type of vlog to whatever the hell I'm doing, it's like Road to the Octagon. No matter if there's an octagon or not involved. Mm-hmm. This is a war.
You feel like you're going to war this weekend?
Been feeling like I'm going to war for a long time.
Who does it feel like you're going to war with this week?
The organization, the everybody, everything, fans, haters, lovers, everything.
Is that part a little unique? Like feeling that it's Nate Diaz versus the world in this fight? Does that feel a little bit different than the ones previous?
It's the same as everything.
Why do you think it's Khamzat Chimaeve in the last fight of your UFC contract? You threw a lot of names out over the last 12 months. Why do you think it's Khamzat Chimaeve this weekend?
When I I was in the Ultimate Fighter, I fought Judge Pulver was the man and BJ Penn was the man. And these guys were like it was when you would watch, when you would see like, if you walked into like a mall and you saw like, if you saw like, who can I even say, like if you saw like Robert De Niro and like Al Pacino and like the most, Leonardo DiCaprio, like the most famous actors you could think of, Adam Sandler. If you just saw these guys, and then you just would see like Horace Gracie or Fedor Emelianenko or BJ Penn or something, you wouldn't even notice Robert De Niro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're like, these guys are like that's BJ Penn right there, and that's Fedor Emelianenko, Horace Gracie, Hendel Gracie, Hickson Gracie. That's like, that's what it is. That's like the top of the top. Mm-hmm. That's the best, but those are the most famous people you could think of. Mm-hmm. And then when I won the Ultimate Fighter, and I was fighting all the people, and I was like one fight after another fight after another fight, more than everybody. I was fighting back to back to back to back. I never had an objective. Like BJ Penn was the champion. Mm-hmm. I had never had no even thought. It wasn't even a consideration. It wasn't even talked about to even fight BJ Penn. Like, I didn't even think about that. It was like everybody else in there was BJ Penn. And throughout time, everybody's just got like, and then there's new champion. After everybody after that didn't even matter after that. Who the hell was the champion after that? And then Frankie Edgar, I think, beat him. Mm-hmm. Was that for the championship?
Yeah, twice.
And then he went, and I was friends with Frankie Edgar, so I had no objective of fighting Frankie Edgar. Mm-hmm. And I had this championship goal that everybody has. I need to be the world champion. I wasn't wrestling, like no jock wrestler, no funny. I need to get gold and be number one or no like that. Mm-hmm. All I was after was making sure that I was whipping ass the hardest and being the dopest I could be for me, for my own personal, for my homeboys at home, mm-hmm. for everybody. I seen the dopest people. Like, I still got homeboys at home are harder than any champion, you know? And so I didn't have any, like championship I wasn't champion, you know what I'm saying? As long as I did their job how it was supposed to be done, how it was supposed to be right, I could go home with my homeboys and be like, y'all saw how I did that? That's mm-hmm. how you do that. Mm-hmm. And then that's how you would do it, that's how he would do it, that's how everybody in my circle would do it. Mm-hmm. And so that was my only goal. So as far as I'm concerned, I was a champion the whole time. And the guys out here the whole time playing champion. You got Camaro and Who's the champion right now?
Leon Edwards.
Besides, I'm talking about before Leon Edwards. Who's that 155? Oliveira. Oliveira's a guy that ass whipped all the time. But I got it's like I never had. You guys are champions, but because you guys had this weird little goal and you follow the leader, and they write the. What's the word for it? They couldn't control the scenario. They couldn't. They're saying this guy and that guy, mm-hmm. and this guy's the best, and this guy's the best, and then they're the best because they said the UFC, being the machine, say they're the best, mm-hmm. and I know who the best is, mm-hmm. you know. Hickson Gracie and Horace Gracie and Henzo and Fedor. You see Ninja Hua somewhere, like these are the guys, and it was like BJ Penn, and they're like, oh, you want the bottom? I had no. These are the reasons why I'm even doing what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Like, I have no interest in even talking about it. Mm-hmm. So it's a new day and age where everybody's like, and then Kamara Usman's like, oh, I'm the man. Oh, well, I did this and I did that, and it's like, you're still being their champion. You know what I'm saying? You're still being their champion. Like all these other fighters, I'm like, you're being their champion, and you're fighting who they tell you to fight, and then you're being their champion. And I'm like, I ain't nobody's champion. You know what I'm saying? I'm my own champion, and I'm fighting all these guys. If you guys are the champion, didn't I just say that in an interview? Like, where are you gonna be in 3 years if you have a belt right now? Where are you gonna be in 3 years? You're gonna be knocked out on your face and on your way downhill and out the door. But I've been the longest one in the game since I got here 15 years ago, right? 15, 16 years ago. And been the most active fighter until one point I was the most active fighter. And after I fought like my 4th or 5th fight, I think it was Junior Sunset or Alvin Robertson, then I fought Josh Nick, who was a top 5, top 10 fighter. After that, I think it was my 5th fight. I think I got like 29 fights in UFC. After that, I fought all top 10 fighters all the way up, and then I fought Rory Markham at a heavier weight, and he wasn't a top 10 fighter. And then after that, I fought top 10 fighters all the way up till now. Top 5, top 10. And ain't no one's killing me. You know what I'm saying? No one's taking me out. They say lots of Josh Thompson or whatever, but that's cool. He been here long. He was in the UFC before me too, at least. And he was top 5. And he was top 5 at the time. And since then, it's been top all the way. Nobody, and all these guys, Khabib fought all top 20, 15, and after top 10. He's been fighting irrelevant fighters, and then 3 top, and he's a champion, and he retires, and he's out. And you get Kamaru, he gets in, he's acting like the GOAT, I'm the GOAT, and he like fights 3 or 4 title defenses, and then he slept on his ass by a guy who I just basically beat, who I was cut and injured coming into the fight, so I just coasted through that fight. It was the easiest fight I ever had, and now he's the champion. But shout out to Leon for getting the job done. I'm not trying to knock Leon, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations. But he ain't over here acting like Kamaru, who's, I don't even know who he fought. And then I'm the champion of the whole UFC altogether, and I don't give a and what they got me doing right now is they're acting like I called for this fight, which I didn't call for, and I don't want, and didn't want, and still don't want, but I don't give a I'll fight anybody. But pressure's on him. He better finish me, because he's the next killer in town. You know what I'm saying? Pressure's on me, because I better not get killed by the next killer best in town, because they're saying he's the best in town. If I whip his ass, they're going to say, oh, he wasn't the best in town. But they're not going to let me go. I asked for 20 fights, 10 fights, 15 fights for the top 5 guys again, like I have for the last 15. Nobody's fought the top 10 guys in the last 15 years but me. Nobody. 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 You know what I'm saying? I'm the greatest fighter to ever stepped into the UFC octagon. And still am, and still planning on being for the next 15 years. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this fight's not even about this guy. It's about making this guy. It's about making this, right? And I'm like, okay, well, you guys aren't going to let me go because I'm the best fighter here, and you're not going to let me go unless it's off of somebody. I got to make somebody for you. Well, all right. You're welcome. Let's make you. You're welcome, UFC. You're welcome. You're welcome, Dubai. You're welcome, all you in your country. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome. And this is just my halftime show. I'm just getting started, so that's where I'm with that. And what I'm saying is, I'm going to knock him. I'm going to finish. I'm a gangster. Like, we ain't even talking about all that. It's like, why are you even talking to me? Why are you even talking about me? Why is the UFC even disrespecting and making me be like their fall guy or something. Him, them, everybody, and this is just a start for me. This whole fight is not brought to you by the UFC. This fight is brought to you by Real Fight Incorporated. Straight the fuck up, because it's not the UFC putting on Nate Diaz versus whatever his name is. It's you and this versus me. Get the loss. Hey, let me tell you something. Let's say I do lose and get my ass whipped by this who you guys are saying is the best thing to have ever happened coming up, right? And he might be. But you got a little overshoot, and then you're just shooting them out, and you're shooting them out on me because I'm going to get it out the loudest. So they're using me to get it out there. Yep. So if that's how it's going to be, let's just say I get my ass stomped out, right? Let's just say that happens for a second. And everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying that too. And everybody who is saying that, especially the fighters and the media and the fighters who are saying, oh, you know what I'm saying? For one, all together, and where's your facts? You fought Burns, dog. You fought Burns. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. If I get my ass whooped, guess what? Still got a free agent out there who's now who might have just got his ass whooped, but he's still only the number 2 fighter in the world because he just the champion of the welterweight division, and he's losing to the guy who are you claiming is the next biggest, best thing in the thing. So get it done, and you better get it done because pressure's on you. I don't give a f.
I feel like you're like.
Why are you even talking my name though? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I wasn't even trying to fight BJ Penn. Now they're like, oh, I'm a gangster. Like, why you talking to me like that? The only reason why you fight is because of me. And most of the people. And I ain't demanding respect. This fight game, I don't need no respect. You know what I'm saying? It's forever.
So when he says he's a fan of yours, he grew up watching you.
Or not fully or whatever, but you're a fan of whatever. It's not even about that. He said what he had to say because he felt like he needed to say that. Because he knows. If you're any piece of a fighter, which a lot of people aren't. You know what I'm saying? You're over here playing champion. I'm like, you just did what the UFC told you to do. Remember when Kamala Usman, if my Adesanya is my brother, but if what do you say? If they want to me and Adesanya to fight, and they're gonna piss a lot, we're gonna have to step in the back room and talk. I'm like, well, first of all, you ain't friends for that sorry ass you just said. Yeah. We might have to step in the rap, and then you're gonna step in the back. Why are you doing an interview talking about how if they offer us enough money, then we're gonna step in the back room and talk? You here asking permission from the UFC. You ain't no champion. I never asked for nothing. I demanded and took what I'm gonna take, and I still am. Because I've been whipped too many asses, fought too many to be asking anybody for anything.
You feel like there's a way around this, or this is just how it has to be? Like, this is business. You understand the business of this game as well as any fighter I've ever talked to. Like, and it's different when you're the guy that they're trying to use to build this other guy. But do you feel like I get it, I'm still going to be mad, but I get it, this is the business. This is the business I'm in. Or do you feel like it could be different, that they could be treated different? I get it.
That's why I said, okay, I'll fight whoever. Fight whoever you want me to fight. Burns was like, they asked about, oh, do you hear Nate might fight, you know? And I'm like, and he's like, oh, yeah, it makes no sense, but I'll watch it. It makes no sense. I'm like, what do you mean it makes no sense? He's like, oh, because he's ranked number. I'm like, these told you those are the numbers. So you are like, it makes no sense, but you'll watch it? I made this fool fight you, stupid. I told him, you go fight a number 5, top 5 guy, and then I'll fight him if you want me to fight him, since you're not letting me out to fight Ferguson or Luque or who the else did I try to fight?
Dustin Poirier.
Poirier, Chandler, the best of the best, whoever you could get. Adesanya, Ngannou. Give me anybody. Just let me get the going. Oh, we ain't gonna be nobody unless you build this guy for us because you got a deal with Fight Island. That ain't got nothing to do with me now. But if you want out, you have to go finish our deal. So I'm making big money deals for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want no money from you. I just want to be fighting somebody that all I want to do is fight somebody that everybody thinks is going to win my ass. Well, now, obviously, they made it that way because they know what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. So I did all this, too. Mm-hmm. That's why I said I fight Francis Ngannou and Adesanya. Because, like, those aren't the guys that, these aren't the I'm, like, trying to fight at all. But I'm like, these are the guys, the best guys in the UFC right now that everybody's projecting as the best guys. Yeah. They're like, we're not going to do that. You're going to fucking... We'll give you this guy, so I got to build this guy and finish all you. I'm locking up deals for everybody, making everybody all this money. Mm-hmm. But these fighters don't understand that if me and Adesanya going to fight, then we got to talk about it in the background. You fake ass. That's why you got slept by Leon Edwards. Because you're over here play fighting, dog. This ain't even for real. I'm for real in the fight game. And they don't ever stop, and it won't ever stop. Mm-hmm. I feel I'm the best fighter to ever be in the UFC ever.
Are you carrying all this?
Except besides my brother. And you want to know why my brother's the best fighter to ever? Because of everything besides that. And the same thing happened to him. They never wanted him to even be in a position to fight for a title. Like, I never was in a position to fight for a title except for Henderson, and then we got a deal. But I wasn't their... What is it? I'm not their ideal color or whatever. Not even the color, but like... the model they're looking for. I'm not the guy they're looking for, which is fine with me. I don't even want to be the model because it's Usman or some. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to knock him either. I have a bunch of different people over the years.
Yeah, just the buttoned up, the professional
bunch guy. Of nerds. Yeah. But my brothers, and they never wanted him there, and he was mad about it, and I understood, but I also didn't understand, but now I really understand. But you got all these guys who claim to be GOATs. Who's the GOAT right now? They were claiming Usman, who just got knocked out by the guy who I just...
Like pound for pound right now? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, top 5. Who's the top?
Yeah, it's like him, Israel, Alexander Volkanovski, Charles Oliveira.
Okay. Well, these are the guys?
Those are the guys.
And I'll fight all of them in 5 seconds. So besides that, with all due respect to them, mm-hmm. but them, I'm trying to make a point. If they're the GOATs... Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a I am. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Besides my brother. And let's say I'm not right, but if those guys are the GOATs, because I was made, as a fighter, I was made by my brother. Mm-hmm. Every way I thought, everything he did, if he ran, I ran. If I did push it, he did push it, I did push it. If he whipped ass, I whipped ass. Whatever happened, happened. Mm-hmm. But if those guys are the GOATs, top 5 for even or the OGs, Anderson, Just P, Fedor, mm-hmm.
John Jones.
Who?
John Jones.
Out of question. Out of question. Mm-hmm. I don't care. It's Silva too. Like, I mean, with all due respect to them, because they are grand to the thing. But if you do steroids, that's just completely. I mean, if you're like you're. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing that out loud, that's different. Like, hey, we're all shooting steroids and then whip everybody else. Like, well, because I'm willing to fight on steroids. I don't give a f. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing it all on the high, like, let's all just talk about it. You do steroids, I'll smoke weed, and let's get in there and squat. Mm-hmm. I don't give a f. But you're sneak steroiding and then you're considered, you're out of the question. The whole legacy's gone and done with. So... But all these guys here you consider the GOATs. If you guys are all the GOATs, I don't know, because what I'm saying, I know arguably I'm in there too with a big portion of people out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the way the UFC makes it, it's like it's all by numbers and shit. You're not even involved. You're not involved. It's like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
In my 15 years, yeah. But if you guys are all the GOATs, then where's your guy? Because my brother did what he did, and I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm made by Nick. Mm-hmm. Where's your guy, Usman? You don't even have a guy, too. We both there, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one, if you're Mr. Goat, then make a goat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I don't, prove it.
Yeah. Do you like the idea that even though you don't agree with why this fight is together and the motives that they have and everything else is plain as day, do you like the idea that I get to go ruin it all on Saturday? Like I get to go ruin it all? That's
everybody else's talk and whatever they think about it. I know what I'm going to do and what I got to do. And whatever people, yeah, good. If I ruin it, that's what you get for playing with me for too long.
What do you think is going to be the first thing that goes through Dana White's head when you win this fight on Saturday?
I don't know. I'm on Dana White's side too. It's all love. I understand business. It's all good with me. Me and Dana always got along with everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not real inking, real fighting because I'm like against anybody. Mm-hmm. I'm not going anywhere, just doing anything. I have no plan for what my next move is. If something happens in this fight, I might just have to re-sign to get a rematch. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If I don't whip this ass right now, then, like, come on. Mm-hmm. Regardless of what happens, though, and say I leave or do whatever, the best fighters are in the UFC and have been for a long time and will be for a long time, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean the real shit's happening in the UFC. You know what I'm saying? But no matter what I do, I'm gonna be in the UFC.
Well, and you say that, and I want to know, was there a moment that you like, because I know you guys were negotiating a lot. You guys were negotiating about another contract. Mm-hmm. Was there a moment that you were close and you were just like, nah, I can't do it? Like, what was the story there? Like, how close did you get to re-signing a new deal with the UFC? And then ultimately, like, what was that moment that was like, nah, I can't do it?
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near it.
One time I said, all right, look, if I'm gonna resign, since you got a so aggressive adamant, if they're so wanting to sign me, because if they're so adamant about it, and they kept coming back with me, and every time I was like no, they'd come back with more, and come back with more, and more, and they were like, this fool ain't taking, these guys ain't taking no for an answer, and they're like, he's not taking yes for an answer. I'm like, all right, well, you want me in? Then me and my 10 guys, we're all coming. I need a contract for all my guys. And it was for the and then after I said it and it was going, the deal was getting worked on, I was like, they're gonna sign all my friends and I have to fight here.
Really?
Yeah, and then they started coming back, well this guy could do the Ultimate Contender and this guy could do, I'm like, everybody's in or I'm out. And then they're like, well, and they're doing the up and down with who can do what and what can do who. And I was like, oh, everybody's not in right now off of it? Then no, that's all. I got to go. Because I'm calling my own shot. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to ask in the back room if me and Adesanya got to talk about it. That's whack. Yeah. Like, ain't no one's telling me what to do, ever. And nobody has the whole time. I was in the Ultimate Fighter, and they were like, the street fight happened in the Ultimate Fighter when I was in there, the backyard fight. Mm-hmm. And I was instigating the shit out of it because it's hilarious. These guys were talking the whole time. I was like, whip his ass. What the f are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And then he yelled at everybody but me because he knew I was smoking the whole place. But everybody, they're like, Nate, Dana's out here. He's mad. And I'm like, all right, cool. I just woke up. And I'm like, all right. And then they're knocking on the door. I'm like, hold on, let me put my pants on. And I'm like getting ready to go out there and see what's going on. And then I'm like getting my shoes on, trying to wake up, and then Dana White, because it's been like 10 minutes now, Dana White's knocking on my door. He's like, hey, Nate, can you get out here? I'm about to talk to everybody. I was like, all right, cool, I'll be out there. Got my shit on, and I walked out, and all the Ultimate Fighters sitting there Indian style on the ground, like they're in school ready to listen to the teacher. And I was like, what the f is going on out here? Mm-hmm. And then he's like, and he did a speech. People don't think we're animals because we're fun on the street, and they're like all sitting there all in trouble. And just like laughing, like, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. We're in a fight house, and you guys are all sitting here acting like you're in trouble. Yeah. this is ridiculous. And I was like, I ain't in trouble. I'm like getting a soda in the background, like, yeah, right. What the hell? It was comedy. I was like, you guys are all in trouble because of the big street fight that I helped instigate last night. You guys got me. Send me home. I miss people at home. So that's what happened with from there on out. No one ever tell me what to do.
Yeah. And
I almost beat up Dana White in a club one time here too. You should have seen it. He was like talking. Did he tell you about it?
No, you tell me about it.
Yeah. You should ask him. He was talking me other in arguments with him. I was mad at him. I shouldn't have been mad at him.
When was this?
I understand, but a long time ago. When was Gilbert did the Ultimate Fighter with
Pettis, right?
Yeah, I think when the girls all got out the show, Rose won the thing, and everybody had got out the show, and then we went to the club with Dana, and they were having a big after party, and then Dana was all, he was all peddling shit, he's all, he's like, what's up? You know, I was like, the UFC, I'm gonna get out of here. He's like, what's up? I was like, what's up? And he was telling me about, what do you want? Oh, I like, what the f*** do you think I want? More money and more better fights than everyone here? Are you it's because I was never on a destination for a title, though. At the time, I understand everybody's got this little mission, but what the hell he thinks kept me here so long? People go up and they try to fight for the title. They fight for the title. They either win it or lose it. Say they win 2 or 3 fights or 4 fights, think they're the best thing over. They lose, they try to make a comeback. They lose one, they win one, they lose one, then they're gone. Yeah. Everybody's got a 5-year career in the UFC. 4 years, 7, 8, 9 max, 12. Yeah. But it's like my career was based on, my fights were based on going in there, not being a whipping the most ass you could whip, the hardest you can do it, the tightest you can do it, and then carry on with your day and then come back for another one later.
And that's what you're looking for with Real Link. Like, you're looking for mindset in
The
Real Link.
realest, dopest shit you could ever see. I don't care if you're a champion and you're fighting a boring-ass fight for the UFC, for the people, and now you're just this boring-ass UFC fighter. I'd rather not. You know what I'm saying? You should have worked on a computer somewhere, you nerd. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather, like, whip ass and be like, what? That's how you do this. What's up? And then... And that's what people don't even realize. Like, people don't even know, but they've never been to a fight. They go to a fight, and then they sit there, and they're watching a fight, and they get bored. They start talking to friends. They're on their phone, and they're like, they didn't even know what they were coming to see a fight. Fights they saw were at parties where people was all pissed and fighting each other, squabbing and rolling out. And it was like, that was insane. They think they're going for a fight, but you're going for a grappling, wrestling, kiss-ass match, and everybody, that's not what I'm ever, you know what I'm saying? I remember fighting in the WC, like one of my first or second fights, and I had this game plan that'd be like, hit and move and do this and take down, and like 10 seconds went in. It felt like it was 5 minutes in. It felt like it was forever, and I'm like, and somebody's like, boo, I'm like, what? Swung, started squabbling with this dude, got taken down but I refused to be lame.
Yeah.
This was a great interview, Brad.
It was.
I have to go.
It was. I'll let you go, man. Thank you so much for the time.
Sure.
And good luck, man.
Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.
On Saturday.
Sure.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.